For dinner tonight, it's pizza. I'm going to show you some super easy, simple tricks that will make pizza at home be every bit as good as what you get from your local pizzeria. First, I start with a store-bought dough. Back in the day, I used to make my own dough before pizza making at home was really popular. And I found that that's a lot of trouble. It's a really easy thing to do, but it takes so much time. And so now most of your grocery stores will have store-bought dough. And this is just a little pinch off of a ball of dough that I bought. Here's the rest of it. I paid $2.99 for it, and they make it fresh every day. I shop at Publix, and there's a little refrigerator in the bakery section that has fresh scratch-made dough that they make every single morning. So I let them do the work. If you don't have it at your grocery store, most of your small pizzerias will sell you dough, and I would suggest to get that. Okay, one of the things that you want to do, the first thing that you want to do when you know you're going to make a pizza, is set your dough on the counter and let it come to room temperature. Now, used to, I would take it right out of the fridge, and I found that it just didn't do well. It would stretch back into a tight little ball. But if it's room temperature, you can take it and the dough will do all the work for you. I just take my fingertips. I don't even have flour on my hands. This is just pizza dough right out of the bag. And I take it along the edges and I just do this. And then I'll take my fists and I'll pull on both sides. You do it however you want. This is how I do it. Whatever works for you. I like my dough on the thin side. My husband likes his a little bit thicker. And so this is actually going to be my pizza tonight. And one of the main tricks that I learned over the years about getting a crispy dough is get a piece of tin foil. This is the non-stick aluminum foil. I just get the store brand, doesn't matter. And I take that pizza dough and I put it on my tin foil, just like that. Oh yeah, that's looking so good. Just pull it out. One of the great things about the tin foil is that you can stretch it a little bit further if your dough isn't giving as much as you want it to. The tin foil will help keep it in place. So I've got that. It's on my tin foil. And what I do after that is I take some olive oil cooking spray and I just spray my pizza dough, especially around the edges. And what that's going to do is give you that color that you like. And then I take some store-bought spaghetti sauce. I love this stuff. This is a 4 cheese, whatever you like, use. And I still do, back in the day, and I still do this on occasion when I don't have a jar of spaghetti sauce, I'll just use a can of tomato sauce and use it straight out of the can. And then I'll sprinkle a little kosher salt on there and maybe some oregano, just whatever you like, basil, oregano, whatever. But I found that this is even better. And you'll take just a couple of spoonfuls and just spread it out on your pizza. Oh, my kids and grandkids love doing this. They think it's so cool, and I do too. Mainly because it tastes good. One of the things that you don't want to do is put too much sauce on your dough. A lot of people just douse it with sauce. If you're a heavy sauce person, then put some of this in a bowl and dip it on at the end when it's finished. But here's my pizza. This is ready to go in the oven. And let me get a paper towel. I'm going to take a paper towel, and where I sprayed, just going to go around and clean that up a little bit. I also use olive oil sometimes, but when I don't want to get my hands all messy, because when you put the olive oil on there, you need to pat it on there. We're making this simple. We're making this easy. So tonight, we're using the spray. And I've got my oven preheated to 450. If you want to go a little bit higher, you can, but I found for me that 450 works really well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, and I have a pizza brick in my oven. If you don't have a brick, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. If you've got any ceramic tiles or travertine, grab it. I found this out one time. I broke my pizza stone, and so I wanted some pizza. And you don't have to have the pizza stone, but I will say that it makes a difference. But I broke it, and I don't want to go to the store and buy another one right then. I wanted pizza then. But anyway, I went and found some of my tiles, and I used that. It's already sealed and everything, so nothing sticks to it. It's really cool, right? Great little thing there. But anyway, I've got this. I've got my oven preheated to 450. And what this foil is going to do, and the great thing about the nonstick, once this pizza dough hits the oven, it's going to pull away from this nonstick. And so I'll show you how that works in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put it in. And I am going to let that stay in the oven for about a minute. And in a minute, I'm going to show you what to do with it. See you in a second. Or a minute. Okay. Woo, that's close. I want to show you what's happening to my pizza dough now. I've got my oven temperature at 450, and see how it's already puffed up. Now, look at this. I love this. Is so awesome. Just get you a pair of tongs. Be really careful. If your kids are making this pizza, you do this part. And look at that. It just sits perfectly on there. And from this point on, your pizza dough isn't going to stick to your pizza brick. All right, now close the oven. And you're going to let that cook just until it gets nice and brown, okay? So it's going to be nice and brown. And once it gets brown, we're going to take it out. And we're going to start adding our toppings. One of the things that I found about getting that crispy bottom is you want to cook your toppings after your dough is cooked just a little bit. That's going to ensure that it's not going to get too wet and too soggy before your pizza dough has a chance to crisp up. So I'm going to let this do its thing for a few minutes. And probably about 4 or 5 minutes, depending upon your oven. But when it's just a nice light brown, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to start adding my toppings. So we'll see you then. Okay, my pizza has been cooking in the oven for about 3 minutes. Doesn't that look amazing? It's almost time to take it out and add our toppings. Look at that. It looks delicious. Look how it's getting really brown on the side. I don't want to get too brown because it'll burn after I put my toppings on. but that's looking perfect. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm about to get my pizza out of the oven. And what I'm gonna do is get my pizza peel. You don't have to have one of these, but I will tell you that it's a great investment. You can get them at the store for about 10 bucks. But you take your pizza peel. I've got my tongs here, and I'm gonna open my oven. I'm gonna gently pull that out. Look at this. It's already nice and bubbly, and it's smelling delicious. Oh, I can't wait to eat this. Okay, I've got some mozzarella and provolone cheese. One of the things that I found out years ago is that provolone, to me, is a better pizza. Oh, didn't get too much on there. Okay. So one of the things that I found out is that this mozzarella and provolone blend is going to be your best friend. So I like provolone on a pizza. It's something that they do up north more than mozzarella. So I've got a handful of cheese there. Oh, the kids love doing this. This is such a fun thing when you have a pizza party. Put as much as you like. At this point, your dough has already puffed up and it's crispy, so you can start adding the things that would weigh it down. I just want to pick that up. Listen. Here, it's already getting better. Yum. Let's look at the bottom. Ooh, I can't. Let's see. Can you see that? Ooh, yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so I'm not going to want to cook. You know what? That's getting really brown. I'm going to drop my temperature to 425. There we go. Now, this is what I like on my pizza. I'm pretty simple. I've got some fresh mushrooms. Just add my cheese. I just break them up. This looks so good. You cannot add too many mushrooms for me. I could cover this entire pizza with mushrooms and I would still want more. Okay. Another thing that I have here, oops, I didn't add them, but I've got some tomatoes. I just cut the bottom off of a tomato and I hold it over the sink and I squeeze it and I get all those seeds out and all the juice out. I let it sit out on a paper towel for a few minutes, and that helps take all that tomato juice out. That again weighs your pizza down, makes it soggy. This looks so good. Ooh, I'm gonna add some more. Like I said, you can't have too many mushrooms. Okay, well there's mine. You know what? I am gonna take just a few of these. Put this on the top. This looks so good. Now for my husband, I won't be adding mushrooms and I will not be adding tomatoes. The only thing that he likes on a pizza is pepperoni. So he makes it easy for me. So here it is. I'm putting it back on my pizza peel. You can add a little kosher salt if you want to. I'm not on this one, but this is the time to, if you want any extra oregano, it's a good time to just cook it in there. But for me, this is perfect. And back in the oven it goes. See how it slides? Look at that. Doesn't stick anymore. And I'm gonna cook this just until the cheese is melted. So back in the oven it goes. That looks so good. If your oven is really hot and you let your pizza dough get a little bit too brown, at this point just cut your oven off. It's okay. It's still nice and hot in there, and it's going to be hot enough to melt that cheese. Your toppings really are already cooked. Your pepperoni comes pre-cooked. If you're adding Italian sausage, cook it before, but most of the stuff is already cooked, so really all you're doing is heating it up. So it doesn't really need to stay in there that long. So it's going to stay in there for about another 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll see you then. Bye. Okay, let's see if our pizza is ready. Oh, I think it's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna get my tongs again and I'm gonna pull it out. Oh, put it on top of my peel. You know, I've not always had one of these readily available, the pizza peel. And this summer, my cousin had her grandchildren at the house, and I think she's got 7 or 8 grandchildren now. Anyway, we decided to have a pizza party, and we did it outside on the grill, and I forgot to bring this. And I said, Tammy, do you have anything that I can use that has a handle on it? I got a frying screen, and you know what? It worked great. So whatever you can find that you can get this thing out of the oven with, use it. I've used a cookie sheet before and had that, but okay, here it is. I want you to listen. Does that look wonderful? Now, here's the real test. I want you to listen. Do you hear that crunch? Oh, it's perfect. Yum. Okay, let's see. It's kind of hot. Listen for this crunch. Mmm. Mmm. This is so good. You're going to find what you like best, whether it's the 4-cheese pizza sauce or it's something hot and spicy, whatever. But if you use these simple techniques with the non-stick, remember, this is your best friend. But when you use that and you do those few little tricks that I showed you, you're going to have the perfect pizza every single time. Try this. I can't wait. Oh, I need some basil. Got some fresh basil here. Put that on there. Oh, yum. I need that bite right there, that basil. Oh, that's so good. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna go eat my pizza.